In the Persian Empire, a young queen named Esther faced a life or death choice. A plot threatened to destroy her people, and approaching the king without permission could cost her life. But Esther chose courage. One brave moment saved an entire nation. Now, let's watch the story. King Ahasuerus displayed the wealth of his vast empire. Nobles gathered from every province to witness the grand feast. Gold, silk, and jewels filled the palace halls. Yet unseen events were already shaping the future. Queen Vashti refused the king's command to appear. Her defiance shocked the royal court. Whispers of concern spread among the advisors, and the king began to consider a new queen. The king consulted his elders and wise advisors. They warned that Vashti's actions could influence the kingdom. They advised the king to choose a new queen. A search would begin across the empire. Messengers traveled throughout the provinces. Young women were brought to the palace in Susa. Each was prepared with care and beauty. Among them was a young girl named Esther. Esther entered the palace with quiet grace. She walked through halls filled with wonder and splendor. Though young, her spirit was calm and brave. Destiny was guiding her steps. The king noticed Esther among the many women. Her beauty and gentle wisdom stood out. She found favor in the king's eyes. Esther was chosen as the new queen. At the palace gate sat a man named Mordecai. He served faithfully and watched the palace closely. But one man demanded honor from everyone. Mordecai refused to bow to Haman. Haman's pride burned with anger. He could not accept Mordecai's refusal. His hatred grew into a cruel plan. He plotted against all the Jewish people. Haman spoke to the king about a certain people. He described them as different and disobedient. The king allowed a decree to be written. A terrible danger spread across the empire. Mordecai learned of the decree. He tore his clothes in grief and sorrow. He mourned openly at the palace gate. His people faced destruction. Mordecai sent a message to Queen Esther. He urged her to speak to the king. Only she could help save their people. But approaching the king carried great risk. Esther felt the weight of the moment. Fear touched her heart for a moment. Yet courage slowly rose within her. She chose to act. Esther asked her people to fast and pray. For 3 days they sought strength from God. She prepared herself with humility. A brave decision was near. When the time came, Esther approached the throne room. Every step carried great danger. The court watched in tense silence. The king looked toward her. The king extended his golden scepter. Esther's life was spared. Kindness replaced fear in that moment. The king asked what she desired. Esther invited the king to a banquet. She also invited Haman to attend. Her words were calm and careful. Her plan had begun. Haman left the palace filled with pride. He boasted about his power and honor. Yet the sight of Mordecai angered him again. His joy quickly turned bitter. Haman built a tall gallows in his yard. He planned to use it against Mordecai. Pride blinded him completely. He believed victory was certain. That night, the king could not sleep. He ordered the royal records to be read. There, he discovered Mordecai's loyalty. The king realized he had never been rewarded. The king asked Haman how to honor a great man. Haman believed the honor was meant for him. He described a grand public celebration. The king gave the honor to Mordecai instead. Haman was forced to lead Mordecai through the city. Crowds watched as Mordecai was honored. Haman's pride turned to humiliation. his plans began to crumble. Soon, the king and Haman attended Esther's banquet. The king again asked Esther her request. The moment of truth had arrived. Esther gathered her courage. Esther revealed the danger facing her people. She spoke of the decree of destruction. The king listened in shock. Her words changed everything. Esther revealed that Haman was responsible. The king's anger burned fiercely. Haman stood frozen with fear. Justice began to unfold. The king left the room in anger. Haman begged Esther for mercy. His power had vanished. His fate was sealed. When the king returned, he saw Haman in desperation. The king's judgment was swift. Haman was taken away immediately. Evil faced its consequence. Haman was led to the gallows he had built. The trap he set became his own downfall. Justice was carried out. The kingdom witnessed the result of pride. The king gave Haman's estate to Queen Esther. Mordecai was brought before the king. Esther revealed their family bond. Honor replaced danger. The king removed his royal signet ring. He placed it into Mordecai's hand. Great authority was given to him. The faithful servant was elevated. Esther again pleaded for her people. She asked the king to stop the decree. Her request was filled with compassion. Hope returned to the palace. The king allowed a new decree to be written. The Jews were permitted to defend themselves. Royal scribes recorded the command. A message of protection was sent. Messengers rode swiftly across the empire. They carried the king's new decree. Every province received the news. Hope spread among the people. Jewish families read the message with relief. Mourning turned into celebration. Fear slowly faded away. Deliverance was near. Communities prepared themselves with courage. They stood together in unity. Strength replaced their fear. They would defend their homes. The day of conflict finally arrived. Enemies rose against them, but the people stood firm. Courage carried them through. Across many cities they defended themselves. Their enemies could not destroy them. Strength and unity brought victory. The danger passed. Peace slowly returned to the land. Families reunited with relief and joy. Their survival filled them with gratitude. Hope filled every home. News of victory reached the palace. The king heard the reports from the provinces. Esther stood beside him with relief. Their people were safe. Mordecai was honored throughout the kingdom. The people respected his wisdom and courage. His leadership brought stability. The nation trusted him. Joy filled the streets of Susa. Music and laughter echoed through the city. Lanterns glowed in celebration. Deliverance was remembered. Esther reflected on her journey. Once she had been an unknown girl. Courage had changed her destiny. Faith had guided her path. Mordecai continued serving the people. He led with wisdom and humility. Justice shaped his decisions. The people trusted his leadership. Esther and Mordecai spoke together often. They wanted the story remembered. Future generations must know what happened. A lasting celebration was planned. Mordecai wrote letters across the empire. The festival of Purim was established. It would celebrate their rescue. Joy would return every year. Families prepared food and gifts. Neighbors shared with one another. Kindness filled every street. The festival united the people. Gifts were given to the poor. Generosity became the heart of the celebration. Communities cared for one another. Joy touched every home. Children listened to the story with wonder. They heard of Esther's courage. The story inspired their hearts. Faith continued to grow. Peace spread across the kingdom. Justice had defeated cruelty. The empire stood strong. Harmony filled the land. Scribes recorded the story for history. The bravery of Esther was written in scrolls. Her courage saved a nation. Her story would never fade. The people lived in safety and peace. The festival of Purim honored their rescue. Esther's bravery changed the course of history, and the story of courage was remembered forever.
And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more inspiring Bible stories.